Okay, great. Next question. This one is from Raj Winder. He's in grade 11. How will you deal with gun violence in the Lower Mainland? And the order is going to be People's Party, Conservative, NDP, Green, and then Liberal. So we'll start with Mr. Blewett.
My son is SWAT in Abbotsford, and my son-in-law is BPD police, and so we talk about this a lot. The way we end gun violence is find the bad people that use the guns, arrest them, and deal with it, and have some sentences that will deal with the people that are using guns. Most of the people that are using guns in Canada are members of gangs, and it's gang-related, drug-related, and I think you have to keep finding them. We have to keep finding them, keep arresting them, and keep putting them away. I don't think there's a magic formula. People own guns legally in our country, and those aren't the ones that are running around shooting people at nighttime. Right here in Fleetwood, we had people shot shooting guns right by a school. So you find the bad guys with the guns, arrest them, put them away. That's how you do it.
And Dr. Primo.
It should be a strategy based on first prevention. These are our kids. Let's keep them away from the gangs by devoting resources where the municipal corporations, provincial and federal governments can contribute. Second one is intervention. Once certain youth actually join, we need resources again in schools, in communities to help them get out of those gangs. And finally, for those who are determined not to change their habits, we need suppression. For that, we need to put the criminal gangs or gang members in the criminal code to help the police forces. If you're a gang member, you'll be arrested, and help the judges with higher punishment for gang crimes. Thank you.
This is going to take every level of government to include personal responsibility on teachers like myself. I teach at a school that 20 years ago, and it's actually part of an RCMP presentation, where we were considered ground zero for some of the gang violence here in Surrey. So let me start with what I'm doing, and that is very much in the prevention model. We need to have funds from the federal, the provincial, and the municipal coming to support our students to build their positive identities, whether it be cultural, faith-based, whatever it might be, to help students see that brighter future for themselves. That's going to keep them away from the predatory behavior. But let's make something very clear, that when it comes to intervention and enforcement, we are not doing a good job. Our ports only have 3% of their containers searched. So we need to increase that number to make sure that all of this illegal contraband coming in, drugs, guns, etc., we need to stop that flow from coming in. So that does take enforcement procedures. I think we need to support our families in helping to create positive communities, and that takes funding for social programs so that kids feel they have a place to go and to be treated with respect.
Woo! Thank you, and Ms. Pardo.
I'm in Fraser Heights, and we just had a gun shooting there recently. The justice system is full of people that made bad choices because they didn't have good options. And so that's why there's a preventative measure that needs to happen. That's getting children young, giving them the best start in life so they can make good choices. And so that's really important that we start young and really invest in our children so that isn't a lifestyle that they choose. For addressing gun violence now, we are calling for a gun ban in urban areas, and that's for handguns, for assault weapons. Those don't need to be in our cities, and so there'd be a buyback program to get those out of our cities. Stopping gun smuggling, so equipping our border agents so that they can stop the smuggling that's happening, bringing guns into Canada. Yeah.
Mr. Hardy.
Thank you. Well, we'll start with the big picture. The Liberal Party will ban assault-style rifles. The kind of weapons that are designed only to kill people. Sorry, I know that some people enjoy shooting them, but we don't need them in our society. We will also pave the way for cities who want to ban handguns in their city limits. And again, we'll work on that. More importantly though, over the past 4 years, myself and my Liberal colleagues here have worked very, very hard to bring the community along, working on the excellent work that the City of Surrey has done with the SAFE program. We have put federal money in that to bring programs right to the kitchen table, right to the families where they are in distress, where the kids are going to get in trouble or are in trouble and need help getting out. We've got it done.
Thank you, candidates.